Every once in a while, you get to do something that's both fun and hopefully makes a difference. Today is one of those times for me. I'm a big proponent of small business, always have been. I always try to support small business wherever I can, both locally and on the internet. A small business that you've likely heard of, Iron Shop Provisions, has recently fully launched their clothing line, A New Medium. Previously, they did have a couple items like a baseball cap and a beanie, but they've added a really sweet denim jacket, Japanese loop wheel t-shirts, and of course this, the Huntsman Overshirt. Stick around, I'll talk about the brand, the people behind the brand, and of course, the Overshirt. I'm Patrick, and this is Rocky Mountain Style. Iron Shop Provisions is a retailer out of Lake Charles, Louisiana. It's been around since 2019. The name comes from the fact that Josh, the founder, has a custom metalworking business as well. And Iron Shop Provisions was founded and created out of that same building as the metalworking shop. The name of the company, Iron Shop, tying to Josh's history is a really cool thing, I think. And we'll see more of that as we keep talking. I first heard of Iron Shop Provisions probably about a year ago, just searching around the internet for, flannels or jeans, whatever it was I was searching for at the time. And they popped up as a search result. I think I probably clicked through, looked at them, didn't really give much thought to it. So fast forward to November of last year, and I was looking for Ironheart products. I saw an ad for the Ironheart whipcord 13-ounce modified Type 3 trucker, and Josh was wearing it, and I thought, hey, he probably looks about the same size as me. So I went, watched some reviews or some shorts of Iron Shop on YouTube. Turns out he is about my size, so I figured I'd ask him, what he was wearing, so I could perhaps pick it up. And we got to chatting, as I tend to do with people, and he told me that Iron Shop was launching, or I guess relaunching or fully launching their clothing line, A New Medium, in January. So fast forward a little bit, and we keep in contact. We chat a little bit through Instagram and things like that, and just by talking, finding out we both have a bit in common, both stylistically and otherwise, and we kind of figured, hey, it might be fun to do a little bit of a collaboration for A New Medium's launch. So that brings us here today. Now let's leave Iron Shop Provisions behind for a minute and talk about A New Medium. So in the art world, of course, your medium is the substance or material that you use to bring your artwork into reality. Josh's medium had always been iron. However, with the founding of his new clothing brand, Josh found a new medium: denim, wool, cotton, the basis of any well-made garment. In order to bring his vision to life, Josh brought on Duncan, a university-trained designer who specializes in historic style. Both of these gents seem to be very motivated and very down to earth, and I'm very honored to be able to be along with this ride for them and help in my really small way as they launch their new line. And today, of course, I am featuring the Huntsman Overshirt. I will also be doing a separate video on the Japanese loop wheel t-shirts. I'm wearing one right here. I bought two more. I have white. I bought the black and the cream. I have those on the way currently. So watch for that video down the road if you're interested in a high quality loop wheel t-shirt. The Huntsman's made of a 15-ounce new wool, meaning it comes from a sheep that's being sheared for the first time in its life. This wool is softer and more desirable than other types of wool. Wool itself is naturally wind and water resistant, making this just about the best natural fiber you could pick for something like the Huntsman. That raw wool is turned into the textile wool at the A.W. Hainsworth Heritage Woolen Mill in West Yorkshire, United Kingdom. Now, if you haven't heard of Hainsworth, I'll forgive you, but I guarantee that you've seen some of their work. That's right, they make the red wool uniforms worn by the Buckingham Palace Guards. They've been around since the late 18th century, making textiles used in British military garb and other high-end items. They currently hold a royal warrant from the late Queen Elizabeth and were recently visited by Kate, the Princess of Wales. To say that this fabric has some history behind it's probably a bit of an understatement. And just like with watches or cars, two other things I'm interested in, being able to talk about the history of an item with a friend or a coworker, let's face it, anyone who will listen to me talk, is really something that I enjoy. So having that history tied in to the things I choose to spend my money on or the things I spend my time on is really a big selling point for me. The buttons on the Huntsman are made from Caroso nuts, which are naturally scratch resistant and quite durable. It also features Japanese woven herringbone twill reinforcements on the inside of the sleeves, the collar, and behind the chest pockets. And speaking of pockets, there are two flap chest pockets, the left one featuring a cigarette pocket, which in my opinion is the style choice that really sets this shirt apart from the rest I've seen. Truly a great style choice. The entire garment uses flat felled chain stitch construction and single needle stitching throughout, custom US made labels, and is also entirely cut and sewn in the United States. I'm wearing a size medium, and as you can see, it's got plenty of room to use this as a true overshirt on the top of other button-down shirts. And generally speaking, that's how I'm going to wear this, probably over a flannel. And thankfully, the wool is soft enough that I can also wear it with just a t-shirt and it's not scratchy on my arms. I've had this about a week, and I've worn it to work twice and out doing errands a few other times. Winter in Colorado is a great testing ground for stuff like this. I wore this with a midweight flannel in about 28-degree Fahrenheit weather, somewhat windy, and it kept me plenty warm on my walk into and out of work, which is about a third of a mile. Sometimes I get comments on boots I wear, but rarely anything else. This overshirt, however, generated quite a few comments from folks at my office. What is that? What material is that? Where'd you get it? And all that kind of stuff, which opened up the avenue to me talking about Hainsworth Mill and talking about how this fabric's been around since the 1700s and all that kind of cool stuff. So I really like when something opens up an avenue for a conversation because, as you can tell, I like to talk. So in my limited real-world testing with the item so far, you could say it's passed with flying colors. I've had zero issues with it from a construction perspective or a quality perspective. Feels wonderful, looks great, and I'm really looking forward to wearing this over the years. And that brings us to the important question, should you get one? A few things to note first, of course, first of which always has to be price. $440 is quite pricey. Now, if you think about this more as a jacket and less of a shirt, it becomes a little bit more palatable for most, I would say. However, if you're the kind of person that just looks for value and cost per wear over all else, then this item's probably not for you. If you're the kind of person, though, that wants to own the highest quality item in any category for the things you own, an item that has style, presence, quality, and that legitimately could be an heirloom type of an item that you could pass down to a member of your family at some point, then perhaps you might want to consider picking one of these up. And the only gripe I have about the overshirt, to be honest with you, is the sleeves right here. So where they button, they're a little bit tight. They're fine just like this. However, I can't really wear a watch underneath. They become a bit too tight when I have a watch on. Not a huge deal, not really a deal breaker, of course. You can just wear these unbuttoned or just not wear a watch. But for me who likes to wear a watch, I basically have to wear this left sleeve unbuttoned. So consider that if that's something you also want to do and if you're about my size. I really, really appreciate the time you took watching this video today and spending it with me. I want to thank Josh, Duncan, and the rest of the people at Iron Shop Provisions and A New Medium for tossing this my way for a review, and more importantly, for putting your faith in me to bring your new brand out to the masses. And I can't wait to see those 2 new loop wheel tees that I bought once they arrive in a few days. Links to everything I mentioned, of course, will be in the description below. If you enjoy this kind of content and you want to see the loop wheel tee video, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss that. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a fantastic day.